Hi, I'm Viviana Romero, and this is my Interpreting 220 final. I will be looking at my outline. So, the first question I am going to answer is, in the DCS framework, we have used throughout the term, what are the elements included in the category? In the environment category. Well, the 4 subcategories of the environment presented in chapter 1 of the DCS is 1, the goal of the environment. So that is, what is that environment there for? So a classroom environment, an example of the goal of the environment would be to learn and educate. Next up, we have terminology. So what is some specific terminology you will find within that environment? An example of that would be is if you were at a hospital, you would hear a lot of words like stat or IV or patient, and all of that is terminology that would be used within that environment. The next subcategory is participants. So who is there in that environment? So going back to the doctors, the participants in the hospital would be the patients, would be the family members of the patients, and would be the doctors. And finally, what are your physical surroundings? All of these further guides when thinking about the demand category. Next question, why is the analysis and understanding of the environment an important skill for the interpreter? I believe that the understanding of one's environment is a really important skill regardless of being an interpreter, but I think it's very important for interpreters because it helps you prepare for things that you couldn't really prepare for. So using a hospital example, as an interpreter, you have to be prepared to be moving around a lot. If the person you are interpreting for, let's say it's a patient, you have to be prepared to move with that patient. So you might not always be in the same room, and you'd have to be prepared to like walk fast along the side of the gurney. Another terminology that you would only find in a hospital environment. So the next question is, what are the ideas and or assignments you have explored during this class that you feel will help support your future interpreting work? And so the one assignment that really helped me was the institutional ethnography. And at first, I didn't understand why we were doing it. I was just so confused why I needed to know all about this random corporation that I decided to research. But it wasn't until we got to the third part of the assignment that it really clicked why we were doing it. And it's because us as interpreters, I believe that us as interpreters, it helps us understand what exactly our goal of interpreting is in that moment. So understanding where the consumer is coming from, one, prepares you for what kind of company you will be dealing with, and also prepares you for getting more of an interpersonal look as to what you are interpreting. And finally, has your perspective on the field of interpreting changed over the course of the term? The way that my perspective has changed the most was I was not expecting how much research interpreters do have to do before taking on an assignment. I have such a greater appreciation for all of the interpreters I see because so much research goes into everything that they are doing before they even begin interpreting, before they even meet their clients. And I think that's amazing. And I didn't know how much research actually went into it.